position, different positions. Yeah. What we've seen in this season, centre back, right back, midfield here.
And really useful to have in any squad a player like Eric Garcia who can fulfil those roles.
Putting it back to Nico Williams into the side netting. Another really good chance for Athletic Club. And it fell to the player that would have wanted it to fall to. Nico Williams in the box, unable to find the target.
Great run from Yuri Machichi. Times he's run perfectly. He's got the perfect comeback. Nico Williams to wrap his foot around the ball and find the back of the net. Should have very least been the target there.
Here's Balde. Given away. Well, here is Nico Williams, dispossessed. Didn't see too much in that, but it's too aggressive according to the referee. Nothing wrong with that.
Right finish, clean challenge. Endear him to the home fans. Anytime soon.
The Galarreta looking for Sanchez and finding him. It's out to Nico Williams. Got a Savel, but is the offside? It continues. Nico Williams, got a Sabel. 4 players in the box for Athletic. It's in towards Unai, and here is Nico. There's another chance, a half chance.
You can clearly see why Athletic Club are struggling to score goals this season. They've had some chances in this match, first half of the game. They will get more chances in the second half. Tough start for Valverde's team. They've worked extremely hard to make sure that they're still very much in this game. It's Barcelona break away and score on the stroke of half time. A 1-goal deficit is well within the range of Athletic Club for a comeback. Second for Barcelona, we think that don't think there's anything more on the table left for Athletic Club. Their goal scoring record.
Taking the yellow card, which he knew was coming his way. But that was a very promising opening for Barcelona, so it's worth taking. Fans suggesting that anybody who doesn't jump is a Real Madrid fan. Everybody jumping in the stands. Spotify account now. All the way back to Joan Garcia.
It's not been a fluid display for Barcelona. It's been a little bit untidy at times. His possession. Hansi Flick at half time, despite the players missing, which does give you a reason to tidy things up. I think some attacks they've been lightning quick. The one-touch football has been too much for Athletic Club, which has led to chances for Athletic. They've turned the ball over, been able to find a route through to goal. I think you're missing Pedri, you're missing De Jong, missing Gabby, you forget him. Two attacking players and a centre back. I guess it's expected that it's not going to be as fluid as you would normally see for a full-strength Barcelona team.
Report to Nico Williams, who is Athletic Club's top scorer this season with 2 league goals. Navarro, the Basques. work to Berenguer, and he get forward for one final attack in this first half. 2 added minutes. So a little stoppage for treatment about there. Be hopeful.
Concerned they scored so early Barcelona. They haven't gone under.
He does have a centre forward to bring on in Barca therapy to have a more traditional.
Don Cito bhai. Don Cito
Don
देखियो
Cito
बोला
आ
यो
गया
भाई
भाई।
यो
Yo, भाई Don Cito.
Youngsters getting a coach in their squad.
Number 1 fan.
Sultan Sanchez is 18. Creating a stir at the moment. Has been a different type of player that we normally associate with Athletic Club. Glad he might use this occasion to the youngster more playing time. Started against Oviedo.
यो भाई यो 5-2
First half to finish. I mean, Jamal been a bit muted.
पर 5-2 आज होगा
होना चाहिए भाई।
भाई यार तू भाई है यही भाई है भाई
वीरू ने अभी तक नहीं किया भाई। वीरू यहाँ फोन है वहाँ फोन है।
नहीं यार
Don Cito भाई।
On international duty with Spain, he
जो हमारे
stayed at the club, working this groin problem, which has been troubling him, needs to be managed.
मैंने भाई जोश में से फर्स्ट रियल व्यू के चक्कर में कुछ ज्यादा हो गया भाई
Should be Chiche. He's the ball away.
Ah,
First time
Leave
for
the
the
right
ball
wing.
that is put. Ferran Torres through a goal. Unai Simon once again unable to
Jamal
stop
का है
it.
ना गोल
Lamine Yamal, extraordinary assist. Torres finds the finish. Again, facing on. Barcelona
हाफ
don't
से
care.
पहले
They
गोल
double
बहुत
their
जरूरी
lead
था।
with
Good
the
pass.
final play of the first half.
बढ़िया finish.
Just after I said that we haven't seen an end product from Lamine Yamal. But I did preempt that by saying we normally do. I expected it to be in the second half of the game. There was much playing time left in the opening 45 minutes, but he does come up with something special. It's a counter-attack from Barcelona. They get in behind Yuri Bacici when they
Fermin
mean
Lopez MVP है भाई आज के।
wonderful outside of the foot pass from Lamine Yamal, from a gifted player, bends it into the path of Ferran Torres. Again, it's a goalkeeping error. I mean, it's that shot from Ferran Torres shouldn't be beaten. Unai Simon. He's put under pressure from a defensive effort. Danny Vivian slides in, puts
Vivian
Ferran
went down
Torres under
inside.
pressure, so it's hard to be critical when you're striking, you're bearing down the goal. The big centre half is coming lunging
Bottle
in.
God,
You just
Munde
get that shot
out.
away in the nick
तूने
of
अभी भी
time.
तय किया
Just, but it's enough to beat the goalkeeper. And again, like Lewandowski, Ferran Torres has that shot. He's probably not backing it to go in.
स्क्रीन पे तो भाई नहीं मिलेंगे
Screen पे wave नहीं आ सकता। Half time
Errors
हो
from the
चुका है।
Athletic Club goalkeeper proving costly.
हाफ टाइम में अब अपने व्यूअर्स को गाने
Lewandowski and
सुनाओ
Ferran Torres with the goals. Barcelona leading Athletic Club.
होने चलो
व्यूअर एक ही है लेकिन फिर भी सुने
हाँ भाई।
शेफर्ड ऑफ फायर
व्यूअर बेबी यार फायर
शेफर्ड ऑफ फायर बेबी नहीं
कौन सा
शेफर्ड ऑफ फायर अवेंज सेवनफोल्ड कॉन्स्टेंट होना कॉन्स्टेंट सुट्टो बनने का टाइम हो गया क्या दूध मंगाते वही दूध मंगाते वही
शेपर्ड ऑफ फायर
भाई लिवरपूल नॉटिंघम फॉरेस्ट चालू कर रहा है। लिवरपूल नॉटिंघम फॉरेस्ट मैं बोला था आपको कल की
क्या चल रहा है
आई विल बी वाचिंग और नॉटिंघम फॉरेस्ट में 2-0 चल रहा है भाई स्कोर।
लिवरपूल हो रही है
ऑब्वियसली तभी मैं चालू कर रहा हूँ इतना एक्साइटेड।
बहुत बढ़िया
बटन दबाने से बढ़ती है बोले
बोलो तेज हो रही है।
बायर्न वर्सेस कौन सा किसका है क्या तेरा?
ये मैच ही स्ट्रीम कर डालेंगे। बाय शेफील्ड में ये
अच्छा
क्या
5-2 ये मैच हो गया ना बायर्न। मेरे को लगा भी था कि
अच्छा।
बायर्न का मैच कब होता है।
ऐसी फ्रेबर्ग भाई कैंप नो रिटर्न्स। अब देखो अब आओ तुम कैंप नो में मैच खेलने वाले वालों। यार अब वो ऐड करना है अपन बिल्कुल टाइम अरे गोल जैसे आने स्लॉट चिल्ला रहे हैं भाई।
कौन से तो आप कुछ अलग गाना सुनना पसंद करें? MVP और फर्स्ट हाफ, MVP और फर्स्ट हाफ क्या लगता है? मैं कीपर बहुत अच्छा था। बाकी परमीन लुपिन बहुत अच्छा खेला है फर्स्ट हाफ।
अमीन बढ़िया
बहुत सही खेला है परमीन लुपिन।
अमीन बढ़िया
बट वही है लेवा और
लेवा के रन भी अच्छे
गोल आ गए तो
पर लेवा ज्यादा अच्छा है लेवा ने वो
वही
लास्ट में
आता है।
लेवा लेवा फर्स्ट हाफ लेवा
लेवा भाई ये तो हो गया वो।
लेवा या फर्स्ट
मैं फरमीन के साथ मतलब कितना टीम उसमें फरमीन का
परमीन अच्छी खेला लेवा की स्टार्टिंग वाला जो जल्दी से गोल डाल
भाई
दिया
ये कि
दूसरा अपन जो मिस कर रहे थे भाई रैंडम जो बॉल नहीं होती ना लेवा आके कम से कम वहाँ पे खड़ा होके एटलीस्ट मसल में तो होता है हाँ, मतलब ऐसा भी फ्री नहीं बॉल
भाई लेवा बुरे है भाई ये लिवरपूल का फुल बैक।
लो हाफ टाइम में अपने व्यूअर्स को सुनने देते गाने अपन ऊपर रिक्रिएशनल एक्टिविटी फूड लेट्स गो
अच्छा भाई बारसा
6-2 हो गया भाई इनका
6-2 हो गया। बायर्न भाई अनस्टॉपेबल है इस सीजन में क्या कहें। बायर्न बहुत ही खतरनाक फुटबॉल खेल रही है।
वेरी क्लीन
मैं तो बस ये चाह रहा हूँ अगर अपन यूसीएल आगे बढ़ते हैं अपन बड़ा मुश्किल है यूसीएल तो अपने लिए बट एक बायर्न ना बहुत
पेलेंगे
बुरा
इस
मार
बार तो बायर को
बहुत बुरा पेल दी अपन को
अरे
भाई।
अपन पेलेंगे भाई
अपने लॉन्डी नहीं है भाई।
अरे मतलब जनवरी के बाद आने जनवरी के बाद तो पेलेंगे
डानी ऑलमो खेलेगा क्या?
इसी तो बोल रहा हूँ बैटरी वापस आ जाएगा जब तुम गान मार देंगे लेवा ही गया रफीनिया भी फिट होने वाला है
हालैंड कब आ रहा है अपना?
साला भाई मोटा हो गया ईडन हैजार्ड जैसा दिखने लग गया
साला यूजलेस
नॉलेज तो ठीक है बैठ जो मोटा हो गया ईडन हैजार्ड जैसा दिख रहा है
पुनाते का क्या था भाई ये उसको नेट में किया और धक्का मारा है भाई।
नहीं हो पाएगा बोला अरे बीएफसी चैंपियन
0-2 क्या बोल रहा हूँ? अच्छा बायर्न पीछे नहीं
बायर्न
लगा है। बायर्न पीछे थी और अभी 6-2 स्कोर चल रहा है। बायर्न ने 6 गोल मार दिए। मैं एक बार चेक करना बायर्न के गोल किसने मारा। हमारे सब व्यूअर हमें बताएं कि किसने गोल मारे हैं या फिर हम देखते हैं। बायर्न कार्ल ओलिसे ने 2 मार दिए। उपामेकानो हैरी केन जैक्सन निकोलस जैक्सन है क्या भाई ये तुम्हारे? क्या आप चेल्सी बनाए तो हाँ
पुलिस से हो रखा है भाई अभी चल रहा है
और जिससे और एक ही टीम में नूनो मेंडिस चला जाएगा, लेकिन
हाँ सभी दे दो इनको।
क्यों ही जाएगा वो जर्मनी?
नूनो तो नूनो नहीं जा रहा भाई, नूनो को अब नहीं छोड़ेंगे PSG वाले भी।
बारसा में देखो अभी जरूरत है एक प्रॉपर राइट बैक, अच्छा राइट बैक हो, एक चाहिए सेंटर बैक,
लो चलो चलो अपने चाहिए।
और ऑब्वियसली एक नंबर 9 हालैंड चाहिए।
With nobody to pass to, nowhere to go. Drove what, 30, 40 yards up the pitch and with his team that throw. More of that in the last half an hour, Nottingham Forest. Yeah, another goal, but it's nearly a bit of brilliance from Mo Salah. Pulled the ball down really well, just scuffed his shot. Done well, Dominguez. Contributed from that left-hand side, trying to help up. Cole Williams making sure that Gibbs White can get forward. Ambitious taking
Say a defensive-minded player often get brave enough to a player who'll give you a lot more on the counter-attack. Maury Hutchison.
This is a classic risk and reward scenario, isn't it? If you can get a third, it's done and dusted, presumably. But if Liverpool get one back, it's that risk that the game can slip away, which makes it even more intriguing for the neutral.
Absolutely. It does look like he'll to the right-hand side and Dewey will go over to the left-hand side.
Gravenberch. Virgil van Dijk. 61 minutes gone. Liverpool in trouble here. Pretty much no on the front foot. Trying to make things happen, but it's not happening for them. Elliot Anderson's making sure of it. Advantage played for Nottingham Forest here. So Liverpool. Simone. To proceed to watching the distribution is sitting comfortably. Salah. Gibbons for Jones. Salah. It's okay, Salah.
Passing a wonderful backheel that is. Position again, scuffs his effort onwards. Salah. And you see him getting into these positions and much guarantee a goal. It's not a tough run in front of goals, isn't it? It's not just more natural for him. Just don't want to come. No doubt about that.
Jamie Carragher, Jordan Henderson. These three included today. Just Simona. Salah trying to get us through. He's in behind. Forrest gallop away at the other end. They want a third goal. It's Anderson. It's Regine Price.
Team at football. You've seen Liverpool more than Nottingham Forest. That was the initial contact, that was the dangerous one. Williams.
Swing and a slice.
It's expected. Solomon, it's not a little angry step. It's
Jones.
And the big ass battery.
Across. Tries to keep it moving. Let's try and get involved to help Liverpool. In the goal. Light up the goal. Down in the box. Jones. To Van Dijk, now counter. Gallagher and says with authority. Goalkeeper just at a moment there. It felt like he was in trouble. Misjudged the cross slightly. Goalkeeper to the rescue. It was like nearly Tiki-Taka. And Forest go again. Jesus did really well to keep it. Plays in Hutchinson. Chance of pass is given. Oh, that's right. And trying to go shoulder to shoulder. I think Akpom just lost his balance. As he fell to the ground, he just grabbed the ball. I mean, he had to make sure that Hutchinson didn't get away from him. Shoulder to shoulder. Maybe there was a tangle of legs, but it's difficult to see which way that should have gone. Made sure he couldn't go any further there, Cranberries, by grabbing the ball. This was that penalty kick incident. Williams let go just in time, and I think there's only one winner between that battle. Strength for strength. Tremendous challenge, Milikovic. And he is one of those who will try and make their presence felt in the other penalty area. This should. Top the head of Somerset.
Did well. Should open away from his goal to pace on this delivery. What he had to deal with, that would have been difficult for Arsenal.
Forest go looking for three. Liverpool. Gary reloads. Change. It's the top of the game. I can tell you is
To last the 90 minutes again. The bench is probably his natural replacement. The forward player, Tiki-Taka, go right up top now. Robertson, Kirkes, great replacement on this left-hand side.
how Liverpool leads the leadership, the drive of Andy Robertson. Incidentally, Alexander Isak, the fewest touches of all the starters today. Just 14 touches of the ball in 68 minutes.
He didn't have many touches in the second half, it seemed. Just can't quite find a way to play to his talents, to play to his strengths, to get the best out of him at the minute. Doubt in his qualities.
Salah. Again from Somerset. To trick his way through and realise having none of it.
It's been the impressive thing about Nottingham Forest today, defensively. Well, the distances between each other been very good. Whenever it just gets in a bit of trouble.
Sells all day long. He'll keep it for as long as he can too.
They won't mind that either. Tiki-Taka's got presence aerially about it, but Rio and Milikovic take any challenge in aerial balls. Crosses coming in.
Slot said ahead of this game he felt that 5 league defeats is too many. The last thing we should think about, he says, is the title race. We're not even talking about it. It's just about the next game. We'll talk after this one. If it stays this way, is that Liverpool will tumble further down the table. Gibbs White. Nottingham Forest trying to find the gaps now. Being left as Liverpool have to gamble. For Jesus. It's a free kick. The challenge by Van Dijk.
And he wasn't even watching the ball. Initially, Van Dijk's really good play from Nottingham Forest. They've been winning the ball back brilliantly near to the penalty area. Some lovely, crisp interchange of passes. And in this moment, see Van Dijk just facing his own goal, took his eye off the ball. Doing so, just lost it for a moment. He's just touched it past him. Be a foul. He's still on the floor. No surprise, actually. We're feeling a touch of cramp. We say it's early at 70 minutes in the Premier League, but hasn't stopped running.
Of course, Nottingham Forest struggling in that central attacking role outside of Igor Jesus, with Chris Wood still not back fit. And there are a few here who can hit them, by the way. Murillo perhaps, or maybe Morgan Gibbs-White. Here's Gibbs-White. Wall didn't have to work hard to keep it out. Tiki-Taka against Sabona. Sakari went with him. Free kick goes the way of Forest.
Just a silly cheap foul. Well, yes, Liverpool first score didn't quite materialise, but
अगर रसूल और को जूस रुपए भी ले रहेगा दूध 1 लीटर दूध लिया है और अनार का जूस लिया है हाँ पेट तो दूध कुछ पियो और दूध और पियो लो तो दड़ियों खा रहे थोड़ी हॉस्टल में रहे वो बोले एकदम फिक्स है कोई दिक्कत जरूर मत ले तो मैंने मैं बहुत ज्यादा बोल तो कहते कोई दिक्कत नहीं है 5 दिन में खोल देना इसको तो चिल कर और बधाई दे रही जगह और मतलब बहुत तगड़ी बात है मतलब फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में ऑल इंडिया से भी पता नहीं कि बॉडी के सर कैसे आ सकते हैं में बहुत बड़ी वीडियो है
Broken from injuries.
तीसरा हो गया हाँ लगाने सब बधाई होगी ये बहुत सारी 100 हाँ वो तो प्रोविजनली छो यार वो जी फिक्स बन जाओ फिर अभी फाइनल भैया इधर इधर सेम चल रहा है मेरे भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं वो तो सेम है मुझे हाँ हाँ मतलब जहाँ 45 रेजिडेंट है तो मैं अपना 20 से 30 के बीच में हो जाएगा ये 45 रेजिडेंट है ना इसमें सर्जरी में तो भी मतलब 20 से 30 के बीच में हो जाएगा तो गाड़ी की बॉडी मिल जाएगा यूनिट की बॉडी मिल जाएगी बहुत सारी जानकारी कोई दिक्कत नहीं मेरे बैचमेट चेंज सीनियर जो पिछले साल दे दिया था भाई एसएमएस का 4 लोग थे मतलब अलग अलग बैच का हर साल 5 7 लोग तो होने चाहिए लोग और मेरे बैचमेट तो फुटबॉल खेले मेरे साथ वो सर्जरी में हो गई पिछले साल और नो चांस इतना तगड़ी काम चलो डेंजर तक कहीं कर रहे थे यूट्यूब मॉडल स्ट्रीम पे भी आवाज आ रही है कोई स्ट्रीम कर रहे थे मैच ने मुझे खाली आवाज आ रही थी ठीक चलो जी रिपोर्ट निकाल और सॉल्व पूरी कोशिश करूँगा हैं हाँ वापस को ना नहीं मेरे कोई वो विचार को नहीं बनावा जी थोड़ा सा जिलो कोई खबर होना जरा मतलब वो कभी एक दिन तो होनी चाहिए हाँ ठीक है कोई रिस्क लियो कोई ना सर रहेंगे एकदम से दिक्कत थोड़ी बहुत
And one that you're really annoyed to be on the end of, to be honest, that check down. No need for it. It's it cause injury. May well have caused a problem for me.
No stretching things.
Substitution is going ahead for Athletic Club.
ठीक है मैं चौदह देख लिया
Rego is coming on for De Galarreta. Jorge Guruceta and Robert Navarro.
भाई तक बता कि मैं 11 तारीख को फ्लाइट से दरवाजे नहीं होता पहली और फ्लाइट में बैठता हूँ सारी वो फ्री में मैच जनता ग्राउंड ही भाई तो चल खेलने क्यों रोड होता और फाइनल में हो गए
स्क्वाड आ गया भाई
One eye on the game as the two
वो तो गए हो
supporters that have found a route into the camp now.
पर तो रहता है छोटा मोटा
Athletic Club. This is clearly planning ahead for the game against Slavia Prague.
सही इंजर्ड करने से तो करने से क्या मतलब नहीं
Maybe recognise, and as Valverde probably correctly recognising this game is out of reach now.
Confirmation of those changes.
ओके
4-4-1 for Athletic Club. Jorge Guruceta doing has to do a lot of running. We'll see how many times he touches the ball in the next 40 minutes. Athletic Club. Centre forward. Ball given away to Robert Navarro. He in turn gives it back to Danny Olmo. Presumably, De Flick will be looking to the bench as well now. With this game not yet won, but in a very, very positive context and situation. All over the top, looking for Fermin, who had stopped his run.
Yeah, I think Hansi Flick can rightly look ahead to the game against Chelsea as well. They're hoping to have Pedri back, aren't they? Possibly, I would imagine, on the bench. De Jong certainly will be back.
Fermin. Athletic Club have got a really, really difficult run of fixtures. Barcelona today, and then Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid and PSG all coming up in the next 2 weeks.
And from a base of lacking confidence, lacking goals, lacking results.
And the year
Suspension when Sunset gets for that red card as well. 2 matches. All over the top looking for Danny Olmo, finding him. Fermin's in the middle.
You can see why he played Danny Olmo and Fermin as midfield players. My eyebrows were raised, but I kind of expected it because I made the point right at the start of the game that Barcelona, Hansi Flick, look always to go and outscore their opponents, and I think they saw the weakness today in Athletic Club. And it's pretty much average, isn't it? Barcelona, 3 goals a game. Possibly it could be more today. That was the case last season.
102 league goals in 38 games last season for Barcelona. Reaching just under 3 goals a game this season.
वही होगा सही है
Goals, I think. A clean sheet this afternoon
ऐसा
will
कर
be
लेना आधा
something
आधा
that
कर दे
makes Hansi Flick just as happy
नहीं
if it
इसमें
comes.
PS वाला चल रहा है ना
Rizrego. Sloan up winning possession back with Lamine Yamal. As we see this goal right at the start of the second half, which felt like it effectively killed the game as a contest. And the red card really icing on the cake in terms of Athletic Club's chances.
Those few minutes before and after half time,
Yes.
took the game completely away from Athletic Club.
Lamine Yamal and really punished for a handball. Just wonder, maybe this is a chance to
nice
rest Lamine Yamal.
Yep, and I was going to say Lewandowski, but Lewandowski is just coming back from injury and probably fancies his chances of getting another couple of goals in this match. So there are obvious ones. Lamine Yamal, he's got this ongoing chronic groin situation, injury. That would be an obvious one.
Hansi Flick has
मेरे दोस्तों
actually been doing, resting Lamine Yamal. Here is Olmo. This last challenge from Laporte, denying Barcelona a fourth.
Yeah, I think it'd be easy to say here he's too selfish, he's too greedy. But I think he does look
नॉटिंगम
at his
फॉरेस्ट ने 3
teammates
मार दिए
and thinks the best option is as a route through to Ferran Torres, but as a defender blocking it. There was a cutback to Lewandowski, but I think there was a defender blocking it.
1 सेकंड ये लगाऊंगा ना
ये भी लगेगी सुपर लगाने
नहीं
Lovely ball to find Olmo, who pulls it back.
ये लगाऊंगा ना
And there gets there first. Just going back to the minutes accumulated by Lamine Yamal. Of course, he missed the game. Match day 8 at Sevilla with a groin problem, but since then he played 64 minutes against Girona, all of the game against Real Madrid, 88 minutes against Elche, all of the game against Celta Vigo, 75 minutes, a 6-1 win against Olympiacos in the Champions League as well. And it's not something that Barcelona have necessarily been doing, arresting Lamine Yamal, but of course he's their player.
ये सॉरी को आधा कर देना इसे
And still 18 years
Still
of age.
18.
So they've kind of got away with it up until now. I would make the accusation that he's been overplayed, club and country.
नीचे
We've
लगा
seen
दे
in the
एकदम
past
नीचे
with
लगा
Pedro, we've seen him with Gavi.
रिस्पेक्ट
Laporte, Chiche, Navarro.
यार ये बहुत इजीली ले आता है
Berenguer,
बहुत अगेंस्ट जब
rare venture
Yeah,
forward in
okay,
the
the
second
good
half
one,
for
but it does
Athletic.
play
The
the
give and go from Berenguer. Gets into the box. Falls to Guruzeta.
गंदा किया
Get a corner.
ने भाई
There'd have been more for Athletic there. Yeah.
Kunde mistimes his jump, doesn't he? I'm grateful that
उनका अटैकर लड़ो है
the attempt at goal hasn't
नहीं तो
meant that Jean Garcia has conceded on his
एक भी
return.
कर लेता ना इसको
There's well enough to get there to get the block to enable the deflection to go wide of the goal. You can clearly see he mistimes his jump. He jumps too early. He's on the way down. Gets way of a poor headed clearance.
From Berenguer. And the shot from Danny Vivian was, in the end, pretty wild from a pretty good position.
And there was no way that Jean Garcia was going to save this if it's on target. 7 yards out, 8 yards out. It's on the full.
Leaning back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't be too critical. He's centre back. He is professional football and should be doing better, but he just snatched at that finish,
लेवा को हटा
which is something this gentleman doesn't often do, Robert Lewandowski. He's going to be rested, and we're seeing the importance of Lewandowski. And he's 37, he's delivering again. And I think it's common sense. To be honest, the game against Chelsea has proved how important he is, and young 17-year-old, 20 years younger than Lewandowski, drove for that best. Takes the field of play. I mean, Lopez is given a rest as well.
पिछले सीजन में
Changes made by
क्रेजी गोल
Barcelona.
था, पता नहीं वो फाउल वॉल दे दिया रेफ ने बेलिंगम में, वरना बहुत ही सेक्सी सा गोल मारा।
They do need to make a little bit of an adjustment to the volume of the tamarind.
हाँ अभी लाइव देख ले साफ किया हुआ ना।
These issues will be ironed out, I'm sure. Casado, Fernandez on for Barcelona. He's Koundé. Ball to Olmo. Just wide from Danny Olmo.
He's going to get in on the goal scoring action now for Barcelona. In this historic game. There are going to be further chances still. A long 25 minutes left for Athletic to go through. They're going to try that we know exists with this football club, with the players.
From Lamine. Still Lamine. Give it back to number 10. A little shove there from Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, he wants to score. Danny Olmo wants to score. There'll be some others that don't even play in attacking positions that will want to get on the score sheet today. Must be like basketball action there, didn't it? That we saw there from Athletic Club.
You mentioned Montbernal.
What's on the referee? Just check. I'm sure it's playing. I'm sure it's organised. I'm sure the players in on the details.
Hansi Flick did say 10, 15, 20 minutes, so
gave us a little bit of a clue, and it's not going to be 20
not going to be 20.
No. You'd like to think the player who's been out for almost 3 months that he's going to do a warm-up before he comes back on and sets that hamstring.
Come on.
Lamine Yamal is onside, the flag stays down, Lamine is through, and he's found Ferran. Well, somehow, the ball isn't in the back of the net. It wouldn't have counted anyway because the flag was up.
Sits at this bit, then nearly turned into that was missed. But nearly turned into a really spectacular goal. My first thoughts were that it was offside. When Ferran Torres Simon makes a good save, and then that bit of skill, it's been spectacular. If it had all been a legitimate piece of attacking play from Barcelona.
What do you need?
More changes
Yeah.
about to take place for Athletic Club. Damage limitation for the Basques now. There's Berenguer. This match in the air on behalf of RC. Boiro coming on.
Almost download हो चुका है.
That's why I keep that off.
That's Pachichi.
So,
No,
and yeah,
surprised.
really is damage limitation. It feels like. For Sabel. Navarro.
Yeah, I thought Yuri Pachichi was an obvious one. He's the lead with the team still. They will lead him in the game against Slavia Prague. He's 35 years of age. He's been this afternoon with various wingers attacking him down that flank, but in particular Lamine Yamal.
तो ध्यान रहे
He has missed some of the Champions League games. Mr. Valverde has made
फिर
some
आवाज़ तो
surprising
ध्यान रहे तो
choices in the fullback position. Yes,
वो
in their games.
ऑन लड़ियों के लिए दूध प्रोवाइड से दूध
What's it done? It does start. The game against Slavia Prague anyway. Oh, really impressive midfield play there from Eric Garcia. It's just this season. Towards the end of last season as well, to show what a good footballer he is. Some goals as well in last season. Nicely for Gerard Martin here. Goes it back for Troll. Just couldn't get on the end. I must admit, I didn't see him way back for Eric Garcia when he was alone in Toronto. But so well there, I expected Girona to do more to keep him. I didn't think there would be that resistance from Barcelona to sell him. He did the perfect fit, didn't he? He's a huge part in Girona being such a good team that season. That's what he saw when he was given the opportunity at Barcelona last season. He was exceptional whenever he was called upon. And this year he's very much in the thick of the action under a Hansi Flick on a regular basis. Whenever he plays, whatever position he plays like the player he plays. So it's almost like Hansi Flick says to him, in this game I want you to go on and beat Frankie de Jong. And then another day, I want you to be Alejandro Balde. Can you do an impression of Jules Koundé? And he's never out of place. It looks like those players are still playing in those positions. He's Lamine Yamal here. He's shooting in towards Stroll. Getting himself in the box, isn't he? 2 or 3 occasions now. Maybe he's warming up, so I think he's going to be 15, isn't it? 5-minute warm-up from Rafinha. One window left. Actually 2. Well, came on at half-time, didn't he? Here he is, Araujo. They're trying to get the ball down. It's a handball from both players. Never got confirmation. Was it a head injury? Does that allow Barcelona? Was it Araujo's appearance as a sub at half-time? One of those substitutions that you can add on to the 5 because it was a head injury for Barca. He was good there. The only way we're going to find out is if we have to do put 3 subs on. Don't want to use 3.
देखा आपने क्या चल रहा है? हाँ बढ़िया आई थी स्लीप तो
Ferran. Is blocked.
एक तो लंबी भी होनी चाहिए
Pathetic. Play their way out from the back. Getting themselves into problems again.
मैंने वो भी देखी है फोन को कैसे
Lamine.
अगली बारी देखेंगे वही चाहिए
Garcia.
ये देखो एक ये भी है बॉस और तो फ्री है
Oh, there's a starting from the crowd.
समझ गए यहाँ पे ऑन कर दें और इसमें भी अपने आप हो जाएगी कैमरा अपना करेगा ना तो शुरुआत को क्या लगा कैसे
Gerard Martin.
शुरुआत
For a salvo goes into the book.
पीएस करें
The athletic club players understand it. But in that situation a few times,
ये मैंने लगा
the
दिया
opposition are taking the mickey slightly.
ओवर लेकर के कुछ आता है जिससे अपन ने स्केट पर जा सकते हैं
At the top of the foot.
ऐसे कैमरे वाले उसको खींच उसको तो लगा देते हैं
That's it, goes off.
बड़ा कर लिया
The standing ovation, his name is chanted around the camp now. Replaced by Bernal. Player perhaps we might have expected to see a little bit more from Mark Bernal on his road to
बड़ा क्यों कर रहा है इन
recovery.
दोनों को बराबर रख इसको और इसको आधी स्क्रीन पे वो स्कोर कार्ड आधी स्क्रीन पे अपन कैमरा बीच से खींचना बीच वाला जो डॉट
Way
है
back on the
इससे ऊपर
14th of September in
ऊपर
that
की
really
तरफ जा
impressive victory
हाँ
against
इससे ऊपर करना
Valencia. Since then, just a
अब
couple
नीचे
of
कर पहले बीच
very,
वाले
very
डॉट
brief
बीच का
substitute
नीचे वाला जो
appearances.
बीच का डॉट इससे नीचे कर
Appearance against Celtic.
Yeah.
अब साइडों से छोटा कर
Literally seconds.
Yes.
ऑल्ट दबा के नहीं ऐसे ही कर
But what we saw of him last season in the three some games that he played, he looked a classic holding midfield
और
player
दबा
in the
इसको ऊपर की
Sergio Busquets mould for
हाँ बढ़िया
Barcelona.
और
Lots
बस
to be
ठीक है अब
excited
इसको
about.
साइड में कर दे और दबा हल्का सा इधर की
Chance there.
बढ़िया उधर से अंदर कर
Right. Rudy Chiche couldn't keep that down. It was a decent
Kick
opening
outside.
for him. He had the best chance of the game for Athletic Club. Nico Williams, then next in, also could have done better. And that's the closest that Athletic have come in the second half, really.
He's a warrior, isn't he? Chichi will go to the very end.
मैं इसका
Down to 10 men, losing 3-0. Barcelona are enjoying themselves. And supporters are enjoying themselves. It is a big event today in the history of Barcelona football club. It was a game of football to be played. Barcelona, it was critical they got the 3 points, and it was Athletic's responsibility to come here and spoil that party. But they huffed and puffed in the first half in particular. But since that second goal on the stroke at half time, quick fire third goal at the beginning of the second half, it hasn't been the contest that Athletic Club have hoped for.
यस कैसे स्विच करूं इस पे
स्विच टू बस पीएस पीछे आता है
इसका मतलब
स्क्रीन पे
Making his way into this
मेन
game.
स्क्रीन पे लाना और अपना हटाना है
तो चल ही रहा है ना
Actually got an assist
क्या कर रहे हो
against Valencia when he made his return.
मैं कर रहा हूँ वो मैंने व्हाट्सएप पे लिंक भेजा है
Stays down. Should be quite yes.
Yeah, and the referees don't well, unless there's communication between the assistant referees, it's clearly offside. Didn't put his flag up, the referee was chosen to
नहीं
play.
नहीं ग्रुप पे अभी मत डालो
It's
अभी
not
मत
his
डालो
one,
आज
isn't
तो
it?
टेस्ट फ्री में केवल अपने को
Might
ये
we'll go
अच्छा
through
करना
that with
पड़ेगा
the live if carrying on the play.
अभी तो आप बस उसको एक बार देख लो तो हमारा व्यू आ जाएगा
And the Barcelona players will be aware of the fact that Hansi Flick will not stand for them slacking off in this kind of context, despite them being 3-0
हाँ मैं
back
पूछा
home.
वो
तीन चार से फॉलोअर तो
With
बहुत
10 men,
जल्दी करा
Hansi
देगा
Flick
ये बताओ ना इसको कैसे
will not accept
क्या चीज पहले मुझे समझा
effort, the intensity
screen में
dropping
PS
from his
लाना
side.
तो फिर अपने
And it doesn't really things get sloppy. Every manager wants
चल रहे थे ना उसके
really good habits formed. And in his time at Barcelona, that has been the case with his football team.
अच्छा ये हटाना
But
है
it is
स्क्रीन
games
हट
like this
जाएगी
where it
फिर
can get a bit untidy, get a little bit sloppy. People start getting
आपने
selfish.
पहले चला रखा था
He
तब
wants
भी
to
तो
make
स्क्रीन
sure
चल रही है
he's
तो अपने
reiterated
छोटे
that
थे ना
over the
तो
seasons he's been at the clubs. It's
फिर
been
तो आधे
games
में कर देना
where
इसको
he's
ये
made
लाल
that
वाला
clear.
खींच और आधे में कर दे
And he would
अपनी
ensure that
साइड
his
में
team will,
आ जाएगा
for the
इधर
last
से उधर
15
किस
minutes
तरफ
of
से
this game,
खींचना उधर से लाल का बीच
continue
वाला
to be
और दबा
tight, to be
कौन
sharp.
से वाला लाल ये इस पे जा इस डॉट
Have
और
responsibility
दबा
to players
उसको
like
अंदर
Dani
खींच
Olmo
ले
when they do get the
अंदर
opportunities to
खींच
go and dribble and take people on. Of
अब
course,
इसको नीचे कर ले
it's been
आ गया पूरी
a
स्क्रीन
tough
पे
return
अरे
back
मैं
to
तो
the
कह रहा
camp
हूँ
now for rest of Valverde.
इस पे पीएस खेलना है आप कैसे खेलना
Hansi Flick is
यस रिमोट से चालू है बैकग्राउंड में
जो अपन को भी तो खेलना है
Barcelona won 3-0 away to Mallorca.
अच्छा
playing against
फुल
10
स्क्रीन
men.
कैसे होगी
Wasn't happy with
राइट
the
क्लिक
side's
कर
performance in the second half at all. Pulled
अब
them
जब
out
चल
of it.
इसको तो वापस सही रखा हूँ
I'm sure that is
Yeah,
still
they don't-
ringing in the
मेरे
players'
हिसाब से
ears.
तो
It's
इतना
the best time
मैं
to do it
बताता
when
हूँ
you
मैं
want to
सेट
go,
करता हूँ
as opposed to weaving the
Square
way attack when your team have lost or a bad run of form. If you can do it when your team are winning, it's home a little bit harder.
He's going to get around about 10 minutes in this game. He's gone out wide looking for Guarasaba.
इनको छोटा ही करना पड़ेगा वरना अपन तो कम ही दिखेंगे
Rafinha's been missing since that same game late September against Oviedo. They showed us here.
Yep.
He's still got 3 goals, as opposed to the athletic players whose top scorer is 2. So there's a lot of problems for Ernesto Valverde to solve for Athletic Club. Been good run of form.
Good ball in, that is. Fine save from Jean Garcia. He's had practically nothing to do in this second half. A fine ball in from Navarro. This excellent header from Danny Vivian.
Around the penalty spot, wasn't it? Alpha. Darcy would have enjoyed the fact he was getting on the action.
Navarro again. That's Jean Garcia. Bears down.
बट अपन इसमें फीफा तो नहीं खेल पाएंगे वो तो अभी जब मैच खत्म हो जाएगा तो अपन अपने आप को छोटा कर लेंगे ना नीचे
Barcelona very keen to avoid any further injuries. They have had so many players missing all over the pitch all season.
अभी तो हमने कल 3-4 अच्छी सीन बना लूंगा देखते ऐसे सेटिंग बढ़िया मैच के लिए अलग
Sight for sore eyes. Rafinha has been out for 2 months. Zealand is back. Let's see Danny Olmo. Rounds. Body knows just how important this player is to this Barcelona side.
Turn around. Times even when he first joined the club, he was finding it hard to become a regular player. He's become disillusioned with life at Barcelona. Barcelona becoming disillusioned with him as well, spending big money to get him from Leeds. He's going to play now. Well, Rafinha can play left, right, down the middle. It's an attacking position. That's the position he's taken up now. Straight replacement for Dani Olmo. He's one of those attacking midfield players.
Basically playing in that role. At number 10, Barcelona. He was one of them. We haven't actually seen Lewandowski. It's not a game this season.
Lewandowski missed the beginning, didn't he?
It is Ferran. To Rafinha.
Yeah, and he gives you that quality about
could have been by that goal जो इसका
I talk about precise finishing, accurate finishing, and that's what he does. And he does it with power as well. So he's not just fading that into his goal. Yes, he is fading it in, but with sufficient power. We're going to see what the cut across. And made the save.
Rafinha
Not just important for his attacking output, Rafinha, but also
important player अपना last season
contagious energy when it comes to leading the high press.
उसकी shit लाऊं रहा हूँ भाई
He's got a Sabo taking up the loose ball. Is there a consolation goal here for Athletic Club? Luceta is onside. Doesn't have too much support by Navarro. The corner. Luceta is not the quickest player, so he turned and found himself in a little bit of space.
Yeah, I still think he should have gone on the outside there and crossed it as opposed to cutting back, and that allows defenders time to get back into position.
बल्ब switch करके चालू
Navarro
अभी करना बल्ब switch करके अंदर वाले बल्ब
by Jean Garcia.
एक ही करनी वाइट कलर केवल
Casado
लाइट लगा
immediately looking for Rafinha. Well, this is turning into a very good day for Barcelona, not just what looks like the inevitable victory now. 3 goals scored, minutes for Rafinha, minutes for Marc Bernal, resting Robert Lewandowski, 4 minutes for Dro Fernandes. Is Bernal, is it back? Casador to Lamine. Lamine with the shot. Simon with the save. We've seen that late as well, and Simon making a decent stop.
Dare I say, this almost swerved through the goalkeeper's grasp as well. Although, reflection there from my merits, that ball deflects then off of Simon.
They need momentum there. I see a masterclass in midfield as well. We're talking about positive things for
मैंने पोल डाला है भाई, how many goals he was 4 4 5 6 ये 3 पे अटके हुए हैं भाई, ऑप्शन में ही नहीं है जो चल रहा है.
It looks like they're going to get away with not having Frankie de Jong off their drink. Yes.
टॉकिंग टिकी-टाका के ड्रीम चैनल है उनके
Going to be a tough season for Athletic Club. I think
इनका भी
finished in
कैमरा सेटअप बहुत सही है.
Champions
सब 3
League
यार्ड से
race last season. Well, it's going to be difficult for them to achieve that again after.
बंदी कर देगा 3 yards.
In the first 3 games of the season, everything in the garden looked rosy, didn't it? It looked like a really good season. You know, talking about Athletic Club, how high could they finish in the league, how many points
पूजा
could they
सैनी
get?
कौन है भाई?
हां
पूजा सैनी
Should they
से
get 70 points last year?
ऑफलाइन चल रही नहीं ऑनलाइन है.
That form was really tailed off this season. To the extent people are talking about, is this going to be Valverde's last season? Manager of Athletic Club.
हां कुंदन और
He also scored 54 goals last season, 61 goals the season before.
अब ना जब भी फॉलो करेगा क्या, जब भी हम लाइव है ना एक बार बस देख लिया
12 in 13 now in the season with 37, 38.
Yeah.
पाजी तो हम दिख रहा है बढ़िया लाइव.
Of course, they do have their unique selection policy, which means if there is a Basque born,
20 goal a season centre forward.
yeah, someone's come through the youth academy of a Basque team.
6 or 4.
उसको तो छोटा ही कर.
They just have to make do, of course. Williams is out injured. He's an important player for them, but he's not someone who himself guarantees a huge number of goals per season.
And they expect better from the players they've got. Sanchez let himself down and his team down tonight in terms of his reckless challenge that came out of frustration because of the situation he's finding his team in and because of his lack of form this season.
Being going on the outside, can't get past Yuli Berchiche. It's watching pretty well
Yeah,
tonight.
it's been a good battle that one.
Yeah.
यो भाई फिर तो आप वो कर ही लेते हैं.
Staying his age.
And there are times where you think it's impossible for a left-footed player to dribble with his left foot
पे जा.
past an opponent like Yuri Bacici on the outside and still retain
अब जा
possession of the ball.
W माइक.
He does it so often, the Manuel, but he's found it difficult tonight when he's got outside Yuri Bacici and he's kept the ball on his left foot. Bacici has been able to dispossess him on a few occasions.
इस पे जा.
Fernandes in a corner, dispossessed. Moving away again. I think England have been the architects of their own downfall in many ways here. Lamine. Space for Ferran to turn. Lamine with the shot. Does feel like he is desperate for his goal tonight.
He started off the game, didn't he, with 2 or 3 solo runs. Pretty sure he's going to score a goal or 2 in this stadium over the next few years.
6 shots this evening.
वापस जाके नेक्स्ट में डिस्कनेक्ट.
एग्जिट कर लिया
Barcelona heading top of La Liga. It's a curious situation because they'll be level on points with Real Madrid, but with a better goal difference. So they'll be top of the table on goal difference. Although if this was the end of the season, but Real Madrid would be ahead of them because they won the head-to-head because they won the Clasico. Still say that Barcelona are top because they are.
वाईफाई ऑन कर
Madrid hoping to change that tomorrow when they visit Elche.
तो ना वाईफाई ऑन है
Beautiful skill from Lamine
Gone is
Yamal.
on,
Ball
Dean.
again to
Gone is
find
on.
Ferran Torres, who is through on goal.
Gone is on, Dean.
Ferran Torres finishes off a sublime move, which is ruled out for offside.
Yeah, it's close. Again, I was inclined to think immediately that it was offside, but I was admiring the skill of Lamine Yamal.
वाईफाई
He looks like one of those skiers, doesn't he, on the slalom, where he's just going left and right and left and right, and the defenders know where he's going, but can't stop him.
Onside.
Very tight.
Yeah, it may well be a legitimate goal.
Very tight. The back of Danny Vivian's heel might be playing Ferran on. Let's see. What's this time? It's the goal is given. Yeah. Delayed celebration. That's another brilliant Lamine Yamal assist.
Barca 4-0.
More convincing finish from Ferran Torres this time. Barcelona have their fourth, and it really is a party back at the camp now, back home. Barca celebrating their return in style.
It brings the curtain down, doesn't it, on what's been a massive day for Barcelona Football Club. I've described them recently as a banged-up football club that needed to be back in the stadium. It's part of their identity. It's miraculous how they've played and what they've done since they've been away from this stadium. There you can see the reason this goal was legitimate. He does just about beat the offside trap. It's another wonderful assist from Lamine Yamal. Barcelona got it's so important for them to get the wins today, to come back into their stadium with the anticipation and the levels of expectation from the fans, from everybody. They got the job done. They've been helped along the way by Athletic Club. It's 3 points, 4 goals so far for Barcelona. Keep the clean sheet, it's a perfect start.
वाईफाई ऑफ कर दिया ठीक है जब कनेक्शन USB
So there, but it must be difficult for the Barcelona players. Some of the games this season, we've had no idea literally days before whether they got it going to be playing the game. The 2 games in the training grounds, and it's a very nice training ground, don't get me wrong, but we were 2 or 3 days away from not knowing where the game was going to take place. The indecision on where they could play Champions League football. But they're back in their stadium. They've got a win under their belt. They've got goals and players that they hoped would be amongst the goals in Lewandowski and Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres and Fermin getting on the goal sheet as well. Clean sheet for Jean Garcia. Come back for Rafinha. What's not to like if you're a Barcelona fan?
What more could you ask for? On a special day for Barcelona, they have beaten Athletic Club by 4 goals to 0. It's turned into a very, very good afternoon indeed. A comprehensive victory, 3 points and a clean sheet for Barcelona. A result which sets them back top of the table 24 hours at least. Celebrations
select to choose what happens
out on the pitch, in the stands as well, was memorable, historically important day for Barcelona, and it has been capped off with a comfortable win in the end. It's finished. Barcelona 4, Athletic Club 0.
F1 USB tap अब आएगा आपका है
Still in our lifetimes again.
आप एक बार निकालो उसको
आप कर इसको मत कर इसको कुछ मत कर
यार इससे नहीं होगा तो कुछ नहीं कुछ
लास्ट स्प्रे नहीं होगा इसमें कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं होगा क्या क्रेजी लग रहा है भाई स्टेडियम देख के पूरा अब कर भाई अब कर अब एक सेकंड एक सेकंड अब करना भाई क्या कोई कनेक्टेड है दिखा रहा है आपको कनेक्टेड वीडियो ऐसा लग रहा है जैसा पुलिस भाई डॉन सिटो अपने सबसे फनी वो है व्यूअर है well you might be right
Con ese gol en el minuto 3 después
but last FIBA Wi-Fi
conceded
earlier
and
then was all in the second half. What's your valuation of the game? We didn't start well, and then if you can't sort things out in attack and defence, it's going to be very difficult to get anything here. We tried, but the third goal really killed us, and then the sending off. Well, we tried to stem the blood flow, but we're not very proud of how we played today. Well, we didn't come out and play how we have to play in this stadium. We've got a game in 3 days now, and which is very important. We'll go for it on Tuesday. Thank you. You can see Unai Simon very, very down after that 4-0 defeat to Barcelona.
उस पे जाना ऑप्शंस पे कनेक्शन पे जाओ वापस से नहीं नहीं चेंज कर इसको 192 को चेंज कर अंदर क्या है पढ़ना एक बार
192.168.110
192.168.0.25 25 लास्ट में 101 की जगह 25 नहीं 110 भाई नहीं रुक जा 101 की जगह 25
सिर्फ 25 सिर्फ
ठीक है 190 to 168 1 की जगह 0 1 की जगह 0 ठीक है अब कनेक्ट
एक स्पेस है उसमें बस एक स्पेस और इसमें होता है ये देखो 168 वाला इधर आया थोड़ा
192.168.0.25 यही है ना
que estaba creando esos fuegos artificiales, porque puede ser que en Liga sea una victoria más, 3 puntos más, pero no es un partido más para el Barça y
It's
para
not
nosotros.
just another game for Barcelona, was it today?
Primera vez que cuando hemos volvido a Camp Nou,
This is the first time we're back in the Camp Nou, and
un día especial.
this is a special day.
Estamos muy contentos, muy
We're very
felices.
happy
Podemos
to play
jugar en el campo, en el Camp Nou y
in the Camp Nou.
en el partido también desde el principio hemos jugado muy bien.
We played really well, apart from the start.
En primera parte y otros 2 en la segunda y creo que tenemos otros 3 puntos.
We've got another 3 points.
Hemos volvido a Camp Nou y
We're so happy to be back at the Camp Nou.
cuando jugamos aquí. No había mejor manera seguramente de inaugurar el estadio que como habéis empezado en minuto 3, te has buscado ya el
After 3 minutes he
esa
scored.
definición y has marcado el 1-0 que ha encarrilado, ¿no? Un poco toda la victoria, como lo has visto. Sí, en principio, desde el principio del partido Hemos tenido en la cabeza solo que tenemos que atacar.
We had to attack. We knew we had to attack in this kind of
ये
game.
2.5G से connected था या 5G से
For the
connected?
first game, first goal,
Que yo podía marcar primero gol.
special for me to score the first goal in the new Camp Nou.
Pero más importante que hemos jugado como un equipo muy bueno. Y
The
creo
thing
que,
is that the team played very well.
sí que podemos mirar adelante ahora. Y
And we need to look forward now.
cuando jugamos en Camp Nou estamos equipo un poquito más fuerte.
I think we were a bit stronger when we played in the Camp Nou.
Eso te iba a decir, no sé si se ha notado la motivación de jugar en el Camp Nou.
Did you notice the motivation of playing more in the Camp Nou?
¿Has notado algo diferente? Si habéis notado algo diferente, muchos compañeros debutaban hoy que tenían muchas ganas,
A lot of
que
players
habían jugado aquí.
hadn't played in the Camp Nou before.
Sí, partido especial para mí también.
Yeah, special game for me.
Creo que tenía también hemos sensación bueno desde el principio y
I think I felt good from the start.
tengo 37 años, pero para mí también
37.
era un día especial y
It was a special day for me.
estoy muy contento que podía jugar aquí otra vez y también
So happy to play here again
marcar un gol.
and to score.
Hemos marcado 4 goles
We
y
scored 4 goals.
que cada partido en Camp Nou podemos jugar como hoy o mejor.
Every game in the Camp Nou we can play here.
Hay partidos que son más difíciles, pero
Some of them are
creo
more
que desde el
difficult,
principio
but
hemos tenido bajo control el partido.
we had the game under
Y
control.
al final, sí, ganamos. También para nosotros es importante el partido.
We won.
Muchas gracias. Las palabras de
ये बहुत लंबी चौड़ी है।
अरे ईमेल ही दूसरी लग रही है।
आपको स्कैनर से डायरेक्ट हो जाएगा ना भाई, इसलिए तो एक लास्ट कॉपी दे कनेक्शन कनेक्ट अब मैं बताऊँ 198.168.0.25 ठीक है आप कर कनेक्ट कुछ भी चीज नहीं है जो होगा
कैसे हो?
अब रुक जाओ
कैसे हो?
अब OBS में कैसे OBS ना रही हो मैंने ऑडियो इनपुट कैप्चर करेंगे
आ गया ना बॉस, कर दिया मैंने OBS में। चेक करो देखो
ये ले और माइक्रोफोन भी करेंगे
तो मतलब
बोलेगा
आप चेक करो उस पर, स्क्रीन पे जाके चेक कीजिए एक बार, स्ट्रीम चालू है अपनी। बस ये सही काम कर रहा है।
बढ़िया अभी तक तो इतनी आवाज एक बार भी नहीं आई
एक बार भानु को कॉल करके देखते हैं।
सुबह के पहले इतनी आवाज आ रही थी हमारी बात एक बार अभी फोन बंद कर और स्ट्रीम देख के आवाज अच्छी आ रही है क्या हेलो हेलो हेलो
रोहन जीडो हमारे साथ
तो बढ़िया आ रही होगी यार आवाज
रोहन जीडो भाई
तो गया था सही नहीं वापस कैसे आ गई मेरे साथ फ्रेंड वैसे कैंसिल हो गया
ऐसा लग रहा है सही आ रही है। जल्दी कंसोल का काम नहीं हो रहा।
जैसे ऐड किया था वैसे करना उसको स्कैन
जमीन को कौन ले गया?
मैं तो फुल स्क्रीन मिल जाएगा
ये स्कैन करके क्या था अब मेरे को पासवर्ड और मेरे को याद नहीं है।
वापस कर सेटिंग में QR कोड जाना अपनी ऐप पे कर उसको स्कैन हो जाएगा स्कैन करना है वो तो रिस्टार्ट करके क्यों? तो रिस्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा इसको और सीन ऐड कर देना पड़ेगा वापस नई सीन चलेगी इसकी एड सीन स्टॉप सीन